All right, so this is not good. There are some things in life that are good, some things in life that are bad. This thing, what we're seeing right now, is not good. And you know, if you clicked on this video, what I'm probably talking about today, out of all days, like you know what I'm talking about. You know, we all know, and it's really sad because goodness, when are we going to resolve this? Inflation numbers just came out, 8.6%. Let's get into it right now. It is it's not good. Again, it's just not good. Inflation rose 8.6% in May, high since 1981. Now, when the White House said that it's gonna be bad a couple of days ago, I didn't I don't know. I didn't know what to expect. I guess we were expecting an increase from what the White House said, based upon last month's numbers. But last month it kind of decreased. It went from 8.5 to 8.3. It was a very small deceleration, but there was some deceleration. I think the market kind of rose a little bit on that news. This month that didn't happen. Now there's a lot of reasons for that. We'll get into it, but let's get into the breakdown. The consumer price index rose 8.6% in May from a year ago, the highest increase since December 1981. Core inflation, excluding food and energy, rose 6%. Both were higher than expected. Now, 8.6% in general is something that it's probably not true. It's probably even higher than that, definitely double digits. Obviously, these are like the official numbers, but like we all know and we feel it at the pump or just in the stores that like inflation's bad. I mean, I went to buy something yesterday and I feel it. Even if it's another 20, 30 cents, you're like, man, that really hits. You don't want to pay that. And I'm starting to cut down a lot on my spending. I'm starting to cut down a lot on my travel and my gas spending, and a lot on my outside food spending. Because at this point, I don't feel comfortable buying meals anymore with how expensive they are. Surging food, gas prices, and energy prices all contribute to the gain, with fuel and oil up 106%. Shelter costs, which comprise 1/3 of the CPI, rose the fastest 12-month pace in 31 years. The average rent now is $2,000 in America, which is literally insane. The rise in inflation meant workers lost more ground in May, with the real wages declining 0.6% from April and 3% on a 12-month basis. So let's flow into some specific numbers. On a monthly basis, headline CPI was up 1%, while core rose 0.6%, compared with the respective estimates of 0.7 and 0.5%. Energy prices broadly rose 3.9% from a year ago, bringing the annual gain to 34.6%. That's mainly because of a lot of stuff we're seeing with oil. Within the category, fuel oil posted a 16.9% monthly gain, pushing the 12-month surge to 106.7%. Food costs climbed another 1.2%, which is what I'm feeling when I go out to eat. And I'm just like, I don't feel like going out to eat anymore. And we're seeing that stuff happening. Some comments. Obviously, nothing is good in this report, said Julian Bergen, president of M12 Partners, a global macroeconomic research firm. There is nothing in there that is going to give the Fed any cheer. I struggle to see how the Fed can back off. Now, interest rates is going to be an important discussion. With 75 basis points of interest rates rises already under its belt, markets widely expect the Fed to continue tightening policy throughout the year and possibly into 2023. I think there's no way we don't go into 2023. Like, think about it. It's June 2022. 6 months of the year is gone. Let's say the next 6 months are going to be trash for the market, totally flat. And let's say 2023, we start like really getting into the maybe 2.5, 3% interest rate category, and even that's not enough to combat it. Then 2023 might be trash. It's like we're looking at something that's not going to get better like anytime soon necessarily. The central bank's benchmark short-term borrowing rate is currently anchored around 0.7 to 1% and is expected to be 2.75 to 3 by the end of this year. Now, let's look at what happened to the stock market. So let me open up Webull real quick. When this news came out, the stock market is what we call went down. It tanked. So let's go to the SPY right now. Oh, I don't want to go here. SPY, I've been saying consistently on my morning live streams, it is ridiculous for it to be at 412. So this is what we had. Let's go to the 5 day. No, let's go to the 1 month. What I was seeing here, right? Yeah. So 417, look at this. We were 417 on July 2nd. This made no sense to me June 2nd. When we got to 417 8 days ago and basically kind of stayed within that range, 410, 411. I mean, we were up in the low 400s, but it didn't make sense to me because I was like, why this catalyst doesn't make, we were at 380 on May 27th. We were at 380 on the S&P, which is a technical bear market. If anything, I thought like it's time to go down. Why would we even be going up? So it really made zero sense to me. I was not buying at all. And, I said it on every live stream. I'm like, I'm not buying. It doesn't make any sense. Like, even with Tesla having some nice days, I'm like, it's not buying. Now it's at 685. And now the SPY is back at 390. I fully suspect it to continue to go. I mean, like, either the market buys this news and they're baking in inflation, which I don't think they are, or they're going to get ready to bake in interest rates maybe at 100 basis points that are increasing versus 75 basis points, which is likely very possible. Given what the market has to do something about, the Fed has to do something about this. They've got to slow it down some way. And if interest rates are the only way to do it, then they've got to act aggressively on interest rates. Bill Ackman called for interest rates increases at the level of 100 basis points about 3 weeks ago. And everyone was saying he was, shorting stocks, and he probably is shorting some stocks, and he probably does want that to happen. But nonetheless, the argument might be correct that we gotta end up doing this. Look at this. Amazon down 5%, Zoom down 3%. Let's go to Palantir down 6%. We were holding nines really well the past 2 weeks. Right down to 8.15, looking like we're going to go back under 7. So I was not buying Palantir as well, because I'm just like, I personally think it's going to go back to 6. I mean, I see if the S&P goes to 3,400, the whole market crashes even worse, and that's when I unload the boat, right? But not now. It's just, and I don't even want a dollar cost average right now because it's so volatile. I'm just like, it's hard. Google, I'm looking to get under 2,000. That's the big one. I'm looking to get under 2,000, and this inflation stuff, it shows that's going to happen. Now, the question is, by the way, QQQ, Disney under 100, QQQ at 288. QQQ was just 280 about 2 weeks ago, ran up to 310. If you're trading that, then it's like, all right, phenomenal, you did a good trade. But if you're actually trying to long-term invest, or you're trying to, find the right price, it's not the best. SoFi and Open, they were holding 7s right back down in the 5s. So potentially a lot more buying opportunities. NASDAQ well below 12,000 now. It lost 419 points on the day. But we're going to see what happens. So what does this mean overall in my perspective? I think in general, the Fed has to get a tackle on this. And the only way the Fed is going to get a tackle on this is either two things. Either they're going to naturally let inventories increase, which we've seen that this is really good news for inflation. I made a video about it the other day that Target has to get rid of a lot of their inventories because they have too much. Consumer sentiment is going down, which means people are buying less. If people are buying less, then there's more goods, and the prices naturally have to go down because there is more supply, less demand. That's how sort of macroeconomics works in the most simplest sense. Now, with inflation increasing, the question becomes, is the Fed thinking that there is enough inventory increases that are going to happen month over month in Target and Walmart and all these other places to justify not being as aggressive on interest rates, which is the whole Cathie Wood argument at the end of the day? Or is the Fed going to be like, you know what? We've got to do something. We've got to be hawkish. We've got to take this under control. And the only way to really take this under control is to immediately raise interest rates at a high enough level so that there is more tightening in the system. They're already doing quantitative tightening. So I do think, there is a bull argument in the next couple of months of just like, if there's that much pressure going on the market, then at least a bull argument for inflation to go down, not for the market to get higher. But it might be something where the Fed's like, we got to see what it takes. Maybe inventories are going to increase. I think in general, the Fed would probably want to be more hawkish. They don't want to be as loose with seeing if inventories work. But the macroeconomic data on inventory seems really promising over the past couple of days that I've been looking at. So if that's there, that should help with inflation. And maybe this 8.6 is a little bit of a blip over the next couple months. But maybe it's not. And so ultimately we're going to see what happens. In terms of my buying strategy, I've not been loading more money into the market. I've been very honest about this. I'm just like, I don't want to. I really do think there is a chance S&P can get lower and lower. The housing market is it's, you talk about bubbles. Like things are not necessarily looking like Tesla at 685 is a great buy. Not because the fundamentals and the metrics don't say Tesla below 700 is great. It's because the market will take it down if the market goes down. If the S&P goes to 3,400, Tesla's not staying at 685. It's going much lower than that. And so in this term of volatility, I just don't know why you would be eager to put money into the market. So like when I didn't buy Palantir at 6, people were like, oh, now it's at 9. It's like you could, from 6 to 9, you could have made so much. And so, yeah, but I'm not trading. I'm a long-term investor. And so if I buy those shares, I want to hold them for a while. I'm not just going to sell them for a $3 gain, especially if I'm not buying them in bulk, right? I would only be putting like a couple thousand or something in. So at that point, I don't have this like innate sense of FOMO, which I think no one should about stocks if you're going in the long term. If you're trading, then if you find the arbitrage on the trade, then go ahead. But if not, then you're just buying. And so to me, I was like, well, I don't have FOMO because at 9, I don't think it's reasonable to be at 9. There's no reason why it should have jumped up whatever meant 30-40%. Like it should be back down at 6. It should be stable at 6. It should be even lower than 6, just given the way the market is operating. Has nothing to do with Palantir. It has everything to do with the macroeconomic conditions. So I'm not buying. I'm going to be waiting. It doesn't look like the market's getting any better. And to be honest, that's just the nature of cycles and what we're in right now and how it operates. And ultimately, we'll see what happens. Let me know your thoughts. Let me know what you guys think in the comments, especially what you thought about inflation when you saw it. Thank you so much for listening. I will see you in the next one.